Have you ever gone to the doctor or to a hospital, received care, and then a few weeks later, bam, a medical bill gets sent to collections? And now the big banks and credit bureaus want to treat you like a financial risk? Not on AFT's watch. Welcome back to AFT's Fight for Affordability series, where we break down the financial system stacked against working people and give you, yes you, the tools to fight back. I'm Sasha Taylor, and today we're diving into how medical debt gets on your credit report, what's supposed to stop it, and what you can do so your credit score isn't punished simply because you happen to get sick. Imagine for a minute that you get a medical bill. Maybe insurance doesn't cover something. Maybe it sits unpaid. Maybe a provider sends it to collections. Once it goes into collections, or sometimes even before, it can show up on your credit report with the big three credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. That's the version of your financial life that everything from apartment applications to car loan applications uses to determine how much you'll pay. When a medical collection account appears, your credit score often takes a hit. And here's the kicker. This happens even if you did everything right. Sometimes you have insurance, you pay your portion, you follow up, and still the debt goes to collections. That's because the system is messy and slow and built around profit, not patience. This is why AFT is fighting back. Now let's talk about what the law says about what protections are supposed to be in place. In January 2025, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau announced a rule that would ban most medical bills from credit reports and bar lenders from using them when deciding creditworthiness. According to that rule, medical debt provides little predictive value for default risk compared to other debts. In other words, having medical debt does not mean you won't pay your credit card bill. The bad news first. That rule was challenged in court by a bunch of insurance companies. These groups ultimately won and threw out the rule. The good news is that a bunch of states stepped in to fill the gap with their own bans on medical reporting to credit bureaus. Also, the major credit bureaus voluntarily changed practices. They agreed to stop reporting very small medical collections under $500 and/or older ones. So bottom line, protections exist, but they're unstable, vary by state, and include loopholes. Look up your state's law on medical debt credit reporting or attend a debt clinic. If you're one of the states with protections, use that in your fight. So what do you do when you see medical debt on your report? Two basic options: dispute it or wait and monitor it. Let's walk through when each makes sense. First, let's talk when to dispute. These are situations where you should absolutely dispute the debt with both the credit bureau and the furnisher, which is the company sending the information to the bureau. If the medical collection account is inaccurate, dispute it. For example, if the amount is wrong, it's not your debt, insurance already paid, or the provider billed incorrectly. You should also dispute the debt if it's super recent and you have documentation that shows you were insured, you had a settlement, or you have proof a provider was paid or should have been. Sometimes the debt is correct. You owe it. It's in collections. You didn't get financial assistance. In that case, the best course of action might be simply to do nothing, particularly if the debt is owed. Under credit reporting rules, most collections accounts drop off after 7 years from the date of the first missed payment. But if you make a payment, that clock starts over. So if you're coming up against that 7-year mark, whatever you do, don't immediately go make a payment without thinking it through. Last but not least, if the debt is new and you have exhausted all other options, consider negotiating a payment or settlement with the provider. Then request removal from your credit report as part of the settlement. These are called pay for delete clauses. Why wait? Because if you don't have strong grounds to dispute, Like if it's accurate and you don't have proof otherwise, fighting may cost time and emotional energy. Sometimes the best play is to set up a plan with your minimal payments and monitor your credit report for changes. Now let's talk about exactly what you should say if you are going to negotiate. Hi, my name is Sasha Taylor, account 12345. I'm calling about billed services dated January 1st, 2025. I believe this account has been improperly sent to collections and reported to the credit bureaus. Please provide the full medical billing records, proof of insurance processing, and the amount you claim I owe. Also, if you reported this account to the bureaus and my state law prohibits that, please coordinate removal. And for a letter, screenshot this template. Keep copies of all documents. Send by certified mail if possible, and keep notes on all your calls, including date, time, and the representative's name. Now here's where I get fired up, because this isn't just about your credit score. It's about fairness. Medical debt is often the result of being human. You got sick. You got cared. The system then treats you like a risk, when in fact, you're the one paying your insurance premiums, working to serve our communities by educating our kids, healing patients. Hello, AFT workers, frontline folks. When medical debt drags down your credit score, it doesn't just hurt your interest rate. It limits your ability to buy a home, rent an apartment, and even in some cases, even get a job. And that reinforces economic inequality. So yes, fight the system. Use your rights. Don't just accept that getting sick should tank your financial future. And now, know the playbook. What medical debt reporting is, what protections exist and don't, how to dispute or wait, and why it matters. Share this video with someone who needs it. The system may be broken, but together, we have real power. For more information, visit aft.org/affordability.